Tonight's feature is going to be about a release from a knife brand near and dear to my heart for years. But we're not going to be talking about one of their knives. Actually, we're going to be discussing a timepiece from Blade Runner's system, the Xenomorph, specifically the Evolve XX121. That sounds fancy, doesn't it? All integrated into a 39mm compact wrist tool. I've been immersing myself into the watch world these last few years, and I've been noticing more knife makers intertwining with the watch community. Another great example is the Surge line, which come to the recent years, and I'm delighted to own all three. This mixture of the two worlds is something I'm really enjoying, and I'm finding knife and watch guys go really well together, like peanut butter and ladies.
Peanut butter and?
Ladies. Yeah, right?
No, jelly.
Am I right? Jelly? Would you like to put jelly on a lady?
BRS, or Blade Runner System, is a knife manufacturing company widely known for their amazing quality in balisongs, more focused towards flipping performance for those who are into crazy aerials, and other amazing finger-removing tricks of the trade.
Holy crap!
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake! Yeah!
What does that mean?
That is
Makes no sense, so it's shake and bake. It's nonsense.
Now, I myself really wanted to own one of their higher-end knives over the years, and I waited patiently until I was able to acquire the Channel Alpha Beast, aka the Chabs. The handles are two-piece channel construction and made of titanium, and this thing is absolutely amazing. Later, BRS came out with the Evolve line, which came out with import line flippers and folding knives. And the design language has become very recognizable over the Evolve line. Now they've added watches to the lineup, so tonight we will be chatting about the BRS Xenomorph. In full disclosure, this watch was provided by the manufacturer BRS, and I do get to keep this watch. However, I will try not to let that influence my review, but I have to admit, for a small channel like mine, it's pretty kind of them to send this along to me. Next, I have to thank my good buddy Levon from the Knife Nuts podcast, as he had a lot to do with me getting a chance to review this watch. He and I both have the shared love for sharp things, of course, but also things that go TikTok. Do yourselves a favor, if you guys aren't following the Knife Nuts, go check them out. Now, this Knife Nuts podcast edition had a different theme to the standard all-black version. This one had been modeled after the Sega Genesis famous Afterburner game, starting an F-14 Tomcat. Part 2 was way better, by the way. When taking a glance at this watch, the first thing I notice is the orange and black rotating bezel, which reminds me of the flames coming out of an Afterburner F-14 from a General Electric's F-110 engine, with the black striated Femme dial, which kind of reminds me of the turbines inside the jet. That's badass, and it makes me smile every time I glance at it on my wrist. Now, to get to the unboxing portion, the watch will come in a nice box. It's pretty standard setup, but very nice. Similar size and box that you'll get with the Seiko Pro Spec line. On the top of the box, you'll see the Xenomorph Samurai logo. The Xenomorphs are frightening enough, but can you imagine a samurai alien? When opening inside, you'll see the watch completely wrapped in plastic, and it's nice. But I will tell you, it's a pain in the ass to remove all these plastics. It rotates 120 clicks. 120 click bezel. Very smooth, actually. You can hear this one. It's actually pretty satisfying. And it's made of aluminum. It also allows for a dual reference of time zones. To take this to a whole new level, all the Arabic numerals on the bezel have been applied with a generous amount of lume. If that's not cool enough, the whole watch itself is encased in a sapphire crystal with a little bit of anti-glare. Although, to be quite honest, this one's not really that strong. Moving on to the dial. The black striated dial gives texture and dimension. All the applied indices have been given a generous amount of lume. The hour and the minutes hands are tapered sword shape, and the seconds hand has a touch of orange in an arrow shape for quick time acquisition. On the dial itself, not too much is written, which I can really appreciate. Just automatic, indicating this is a self-winding watch, and below that you'll see the 20 ATM, or atmospherics of pressure, which indicates 200 meters of water resistance, or 600 feet. So in this case, the watch meets the standards for a true diver's watch. This has been achieved through a screw-down caseback and a screw-down crown. Last, we have the Evolve logo applied to the dial. This watch has a date calendar at the 3 o'clock position. Some prefer it with, some prefer it without. Me, as long as it's not cluttered, I'm fine with it either way. Inside the case resides an NH35 Seiko-powered movement. This is a very common movement found in tons of micro brands and mass-produced watches. The NH series is nothing new, and to some, nothing exciting. But I like it because it's proven reliability, it's easy to exchange or service, and it's reliable. And encasing that NH35 movement is a 39mm stainless steel case made of 316 stainless steel. The bracelet is fastened together in an H-link style, and these also include integrated end links, male end links at that.
That's what she said. No.
It's easy to resize, and it's running the standard pin and color system. Just use one of these tools, and it doesn't take too long to resize. With all the features on this watch, it speaks volumes of how much the designer really wanted the end user to try to have a premium experience. Plus, let's face it, a watch named after one of my favorite alien movies of all time, and a dial that resembles an F-14 Tomcat engine is so damn cool. Speaking of a premium experience, all of this can be owned for $200. Yep, $199.99 to be exact. Crazy, right? I know. And if you know watches, even the basics, everybody can just see right up front. There's a lot for the money. There's no argument there from me. Yes, you can find watches for less, but can you find them with all these attributes? Not many out there. Now, I don't like to base my opinion on the price of the item, but on the item itself. And to tell you the truth, the pricing is kind of important because that kind of stacks it up for what alternative pieces you can get at that price range. So therefore, pricing is important. Now at $199, including a sapphire crystal, an NH35 movement, a stainless steel bracelet and case, and all coming with a few little extras as far as the aesthetics department, I think this stacks up really well against almost anything in its price range. There are a couple things that I think I would have rather paid a little extra more for. For example, the end links. If you look at the male end links, they give the appearance that there's only a thin little metal pin kind of securing the whole thing, and there's kind of a larger gap in that area. Now this does two things. It gives you more articulation and a little bit more flexible on sizing, but it does make it appear a little bit less expensive. Another thing that I think I would have liked to pay a few extra bucks more for is a ceramic bezel. A ceramic bezel is much more scratch resistant, and I don't know how aluminum will hold up in the long run. Next thing, the bracelet and the way it fits. It does kind of feel a little bit cheap in my opinion. Now I'm trying to keep within reason because the price range is so good on this watch, it's hard to argue. But when looking at other watches like the 1953 Invicta for about $85, I think a little bit more attention could be paid to the end links on the watch of the bracelet. To me, this would increase the visual price of the watch. In other words, it would look more expensive. But as an overall package, this watch is great. As a matter of fact, if you're looking for a watch to wear daily and just enjoy, I don't think you can go wrong.
I'm just saying we click, you know?
Yeah.
We're like skateboarding and freeway ramps, you know? We're like tuna fish and cigarettes, pigs and swimming, Easter morning and Lyme disease, suits of armor and electrical storms, camping trips and headlights, like square dancing and handguns. right?
with the BRS Evolve Xenomorph, and I can't wait to see what these guys come up with next. Big thanks to Levon and BRS for making this happen, and guys, go check this watch out. You can find them here. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave some comments down below, as I always love to hear your input. And until next time, this is the Watch and Cut channel, out.